Good morning, students. Students, yesterday we started the first chapter, that Rise of Nationalism in Europe, and we started with a brief summary. And by now we have discussed about the main events, then important personalities, and then symbols which were used during this revolution, French Revolution and revolution in other countries. Okay, now there are some one mark answer questions. Okay, then the questions are: who was Frederick Soryu? Then who was Ernest Renan? Then what was the allegory of German states? And next was, which principle was propounded by Montesquieu? And then, which world famous event is regarded as clear expression of nationalism? And then question number 6, what was Jolervian, and how was it responsible for economic unification of Germany? And the next question is, name two underground organizations established by Giuseppe Mazzini. And question number 8 is, name the region whose inhabitants were broadly known as slaves. Then question number 9, in which year Vienna Congress was held. Then question number 10, name the personality related to Vienna Congress. And question number 11, which treaty was signed to bring about an end the changes brought about by the Napoleonic Wars? Question number 12, when France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold. Who said this statement? And this is a very famous statement given by a very famous philosopher. And next question is, which treaty recognized Greece as an independent nation? And the last question is, who spearheaded the Protestant movement in Ireland? And answers are very much here. The answer of first question is French painter, he was Frederick Soryu. Then next is French philosopher. Third answer is Germania heroism. Fourth one is separation of powers. Then fifth is French Revolution. Sixth one is, it was a German custom union which abolished the tariff barrier. Seventh is Young Italy and Young Europe. Eighth is Balkans. And answer 9 is 1815. We have earlier read it. Answer 10 is Duke Metternich. Answer 11 is Vienna Congress. Again answer 12 is Metternich. And answer 13 is Treaty of Constantinople. And the last answer is Wolfton. So these are the one word answer of these 14 questions. And now you need not to find out more questions, and some more, if some more are there, only easily you can find out. So these are the, now there are some 3 marks questions. What steps were taken by French revolutionaries to create a feeling of collectivism? And the next question is, Napoleon's administrative measures had revolutionized the whole administration. Give your comment. And next question is, discuss the role played by culture in creating the European concept of nation. And last question, fourth question, not last but fourth question, discuss the process of unification of Germany. Actually, why I'm giving these questions, that I'm giving these questions thinking that when we will start the reading, and you will be able to find out the answers of these in text questions. Okay, so let's move further and see what's question number 5. What were the main stages of unification of Italy, and what were the main problems? Then question number 6, in Britain, the formation of nation state was a result of long drawn out process. We are to discuss on it. Now question number 7, which factors were responsible for the rise of nationalism in Europe? Then question number 8, the French Revolution left an indelible mark on the world history. Evaluate this statement. Then question number 9, Discuss the main provisions of Civil Code of 1804 or Napoleonic Code of 1804. Then question number 10. What were the main features of the European aristocracy? And question number 11. What was the main aim of Vienna Congress of 1815 and discuss its main provision? Earlier we have read in the main events. Now question number 12. What did European liberalism stand for in social, political and economic terms? Question number 13. How did industrialization change European social and economic equation? Question number 14. Discuss the role of women in the nationalist movement in Europe. The next question, in the 19th century, what were the reasons for the wave of nationalism in Europe? And next question, discuss the three flows in international economic exchange during 1815 to 1914, means 100 years. And 17th question, why did the Balkan area became an area of intense conflict? And answers are very much here. These are the answers. Ideas of fatherland and citizenship, then new national symbols, then centralized administrative system, and the national language, and fifth, uniform system of weights and measures. And the answer to Napoleonic Code, reform in rural, it is rural administrative system, then improvement in urban centers, then improvement in trade. These are three new things during Napoleonic Code. Then answer of question number 3. Culture played an important role in creating the idea of nation. Art and poetry, stories and music help express and shape nationalist feelings. And then answer 4. In the beginning, William I was the ruler of Persia. Then Bismarck created the background for unification of Germany. And Vienna Congress was held. Then Frankfurt Parliament was made. And these three wars over 7 years with Austria, Denmark and France. This was the process of unification of Italy. Then unification of Italy. Let us see. In 1832, Count Cavour became the Prime Minister of Sardinia. Then apart from regular troops, a large number of armed revolution volunteers under the leadership of Garibaldi joined the fray and marched into South Italy. And then Venetia and Rome was captured. And in 1871, William I was proclaimed the King of United Italy. Now, what problems were faced during the unification? First of all, long history of political separatism, and then control of foreign powers and rule of the Pope, then Vienna Congress and conservatives. These are some of the problems which created hurdle in the unification of Italy. Now, next question, there was no British nation prior to the 18th century. The primary identities of the people who inhabited the British Isles, ethnic ones such as English, Wales, Scot or Irish. And then all of these ethnic groups had their own culture and political traditions. But as the English nation steadily gained wealth, importance and power, it was able to extend its influence over the other nations of islands. Now, influence of Europe, it was the question next. What influence held? Rise of nation state, then encouragement to democratic principles, then stress on social, political and economic equality, then demand of human rights by other nations, and then revolutionaries reaction by absolute monarchy. Now, what were the effects on France? Establishment of a democratic setup, a new society based on equality, fraternity and brotherhood, It was there, you read in ninth class also. New code of conduct, economic unification, equality before law, and safeguarding just proprietary rights. Proprietary rights means anyone can purchase property. Then what were the effects on the world? Rise of the middle class, yes. Era of liberalism begins. Role of culture and language, and Greek War of Independence. Now, next answer, what was the Civil Code of 1804? That all the privileges based on birth were abolished. And end of feudal system, it was, you just learnt in ninth class also. Improvement in the means of transport and communication, uniform weights and measures, and common currency. Now these are some of the questions answers, and answer number 10, the members of this class were united by common way of life that cut across divisional divisions. Then they owned estates, उन्होंने estates अपने कब्जे में लिया in the countryside and also town houses. They spoke French for the purpose of diplomacy, and their families were connected by the ties of marriage. We are going to read all these things. That's why I am giving all the answers to you earlier, so that you will be able to just memorize all the things. And this powerful autocracy was, however, numerically a small group. Now answer number 11, establishment of empire in Northern Ireland. Then the treaty was drawn up with the objective of undoing most of the changes that had come about in Europe during the Napoleonic Wars. And then Bourbon dynasty, we heard this word in ninth class, was restored in power in France. And then Persia was given new territories, and the German Confederation of 39 states was left untouched. And then answer number 12, equality before law, not in favor of adult suffrage. Then wanted to end ban of free market and flow of goods by states. And next point is increase in industrial production in Western and Central Europe. And next point, rise of labor and middle class. Next point, popularizing the idea of ending of special rights to aristocracy. Now answer number 14, women had formed their own political associations because their situation was not good, so they formed. Then they founded newspapers. Then they took part in political meetings and demonstrations. These 3 points. Now question number 15, absolute monarchy, rise in liberal ideas, liberty, equality and fraternity ideas were spreading, and rise of educated middle class. Then question number 16, flow of goods, flow of capital, flow of people. These are the 3 types of flows. Then answer number 17, the Balkan states were seriously jealous of each other. Each hoped to gain more territory at the expense of others. So the Balkans also became the scene of big power rivalry. And the big European powers were working in holding its control over the Balkans and extended its controls over the region. So this is all for today, because it's enough for we people for today. So all the best and have a nice day.